Hey guys, today we're going to be debriefing some of our stock project stuff. We need to figure out how much money you all made and start working on some of the graphs because those are a component of the final write-up that you will be submitting later on. So let's start first with taking a look at data, right? So we've already spent some time setting up our log. This is my sample log. The dates are not right, but you can take a look anyway. So I've got my sample log. Now at the very beginning of this project, we picked 3 companies, we found their stock symbols right here, and then we figured out how much of $100,000 we wanted to invest in these companies. So in row 3, these 3 boxes should equal $100,000 in total. Now in terms of buying price, how much was it the day that we bought it? We were looking at the very first day of our project, and if you weren't there, I had everybody go with just the close price of that day. If you were there, it was at that moment how much was that stock. So these are my prices here, and the second you punched in how much it was and how much you wanted to invest in that company, it spat out how many shares you own. Now at the very end of this, so I scroll through, I've got all my data here, I've got all my numbers. At the very end of this, there's a section at the bottom that says total stock value. What I'm going to do is enter the close price for our last day. If you have not yet done so, I'm going to have you go ahead and find what that close price was. I'm just going to make up a number. So we'll do that, this, and how about that? That way I make money. All right, so then it automatically tells you right here how much that portfolio, that section of your portfolio is worth. If it doesn't, there's a simple formula, and you can punch this back in. You're going to type equals, and you're going to click on this last price. You're going to do Shift and the 8 key to get the little star. And then you're going to scroll all the way up to where it says number of shares. And when you hit enter on that, that's going to total up. It's going to multiply all of your shares times the day that we sell, which is the last day of the project. So this particular stock, I invested $35,000 in Apple. According to these fake made-up numbers, this is now worth $36,477. So I gained about $1,400, almost $1,500 by holding this stock for 4 weeks. Now, do that for all 3 of them. And then at the very bottom, it says total portfolio value. I think that your guys isn't working for some reason. So if it's not, you're going to type equals, and you're going to click on this price. You're going to do Shift and the equal key, so it'll be plus this price plus this price. Now when you add all that up, it's going to give you your total portfolio value. This is how much money you have in total. So that is it from a simplistic perspective. If you had dividends, if you look up in Yahoo Finance in the historical section, you might find that your company issued dividends during the project. I had you make a note of them over here. So let's do an example of how to calculate what I earned off of dividends. Let's say Target gave a dividend of 25 cents, right? So I might have written something on the side like TGT dividend 25 cents. I saw some folks had this on their thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply, and you can just do this right in the spreadsheet. You can do equals 0.25 times the number of shares that I own. So I get a quarter for every share that I own, which means that on that one round of dividends, I got $82.10 because you round up to the nearest hundredth there. So $82.10 is what I earned in dividends. Now, what you can do is add that number to this final number. So you could say $82.10. So I'd say my new number is going to equal this plus $82.10. So really, I made $106,000, or my portfolio is now worth $106,228. Okay, that's just a rough example of how to calculate in dividends. In terms of graphing the actual charts and the graphs that we're going to need to put into our final write-up here, you're going to start working with just the day-to-day prices. Now, at first, we're going to have to format our data. I'm going to tell you what to do, and I'm going to go ahead and do it, but you can pause the video until you get it done, and then you can come back and you can pick it up. To format the data, excuse me, I'm going to delete all of the empty spaces in here. I need to get rid of everything but the company name and logo. So, you know what's going to be a better idea? Before you do anything, let's make a copy. So I'm going to go over here. I'm down on the bottom. I clicked on this triangle. I'm going to write duplicate. And it's going to make a copy of my log right here. Now I'm going to format my data. That way the real data stays intact, and now I can manipulate data here. So let's go ahead and manipulate data. I'm going to go ahead and delete rows 3 through 6. I'm going to keep the company name and symbol. Actually, I lied. I'm going to keep just the company name. Yep, just keep the company name. I'm going to delete this. We can delete all of this direction. I'm just going to delete all these columns. I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete this right here. You have on Memorial Day, the market was closed. So no, we didn't do Memorial Day. Never mind, you're good. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to delete whatever is not numbers here. So I'm going to delete that row, all these spaces between my weeks. I need the data to be stacked neatly on top of itself. And then I'm going to delete all of these formulas at the bottom. So what I'm left with is my company names on top, my dates, and all of the close prices. So go ahead, pause your video, make your data look like that, and you can pick it back up when you're ready. Once you've formatted your data the correct way, so it looks like this, there's no empty spaces other than this one that I have highlighted right here, A1. Now we're going to start making a graph. This part's super simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on column A and B. I'm going to click and drag. So I highlight these two columns. I'm going to click Insert. I'm going to go down to Chart. And we're going to shoot for a plain line graph like the one that we see right here. Now I need to edit it a little bit so that way we can see a little bit more of the dates. So I'm going to click on Customization. The title is okay because it shows me that it's the stock for Apple, right? So that's okay. Legend is okay. It's just on the right hand side. Tells me what this is. If I come down here, I believe, yep, we click on this. So down where it says axis and it says horizontal, I checked this box, treat labels as text. And what that does is it shows me more dates just so that way I can see roughly. I can see this point relates to this, and then by the time I get over here to Friday, we take like a slight raise, but then by Monday it's dipping, right, based on my fake numbers. So it just helps us see a little bit more the dates and the timeline of the project. Once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and click Insert. Now I can move this around wherever I want. To get this into my write-up, I'm going to have in my write-up a page where I have all of my graphs as an appendix. So I'm going to create a new page in my write-up document. I'm just going to right-click on this. I'm not going to right-click on this. What am I going to do with this? It's not going to let me do that. So I'm going to do Control-C. I'm just going to come in here. Let's pretend that this is my document. And I'm going to do Control-V. And I'm going to say Paste Unlinked. That way, if I change the data in my graph on my spreadsheet, it won't change it here. So I'm going to click Paste. Bada boom. There we go. You can make it bigger, fill half the page, do whatever you need to do to make it look good and professional. But that's one graph. I'm going to do this with the other two companies. So go ahead and do your first graph and then pick it back up when you're ready. Now this works really well for our first graph, but I need to get these other companies in here as well. I'm going to go ahead and delete this once I've got it. Now I need to do ExxonMobil, but I can't do it with Apple in the middle. So I'm going to go up on top of column B, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click Hide Column. And now this puts my dates and ExxonMobil right next to each other. So now I can do the same thing. Highlight on top, Insert, Chart. It's going to by default do a line graph. Customize. I'm going to scroll down to horizontal axis and check the text as, or labels as text bin. Cool. Now I got this one. Control-C, go over here, Control-V, and then you'll have it. So that's how you do the data. You need all three of these to be graphed. So complete your data. You're going to graph all three of these. The example log that I'm working on right now, I'm going to delete this one, but the sample log that I'm working on right now is actually formatted as an example for you already. So you can take a look at that as well. There's a link in the actual instructions, I believe, up here. Nope, I lied. Totally lied. Totally lied. I don't remember where the example was. I don't know. But in any event, you can just rewind the video and you can take a look there. Now, in terms of write-up, this is what you need to have turned in by the due date. We're going to be looking at a total of how many pages here? We're going to have our log we've already been working on. We're going to have our investment firm cover page. And I would prefer you do this in one Google Doc. So we have a cover page, literally your name, you can make up a name for your investment company and put some logos on there, and that's cool. The investor statement, this is the new one. You're going to give me, on the investor statement, it is one page. The investor statement is one page. On that page, it's like an executive summary. You're going to give me 3 paragraphs, one about each company, and in those paragraphs, you're going to explain in one sentence what the company is and what they do, and then you're going to talk about how their stock performed over the course of our project. So you're going to write, over the course of the project, the stock experienced continuous growth or continuous decline or was rocky and went up and down. It'd be good if you could speculate as to why you think it was doing that, and at the end of each paragraph, you're going to tell me whether or not you would recommend that I buy more stock, sell that stock, or hold on to it for a little bit longer. Okay, so you're going to do that for each company. So 3 paragraphs, 1 page total. We've already been working on the summaries for each business. Those are 1 page each per company. So this is going to be 3 pages, and you'll probably have 1.5 to 3 pages of your graphs. So in total, I have 1 page as a cover firm. My second page is the investor statement. My third, fourth, and fifth pages are the summaries of each business, and then at the end I have my stocks. Last but not least, in order to do the summaries of your business, I'm sure you had to do a little bit of research into what they do. When you do research and take information from other sources, you have to make sure that you cite them appropriately. On the bottom, it says how you can do that. I gave it to you nice and easy here, so this is going to be probably your best bet. You need to figure out the last name of the person who wrote it, their first initial, period, and follow this format here, the date it was published if you can find it, and then you're going to make this a works cited page at the very end. So you're going to have cover page, 1 page of an investor statement, 3 pages of business summaries, however many pages you need here for your graphs, and you're going to have 1 page at the end for your citations. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email. I'm always accessible by email. Otherwise, you can rewind the video, take a look there, but good luck.